2020 would be like the kickoff, you know, to like this major pandemic that has changed all of our lives drastically, right? It's been like unexpected. But one of the things I will say is I really have not lacked anything, thank you God, from this pandemic. So I am very grateful and I am very blessed, and I have a different take on 2020 because people have been super negative about it, like 2020 is canceled, you know, like, and I get it because there have been like a lot of terrible things that have happened this year, but you know, it's all about perspective. And so right now I just had to, you know, deal with the circumstance and figure out like my way around it. So that entailed me coming up with a new schedule, you know, and like, you know, just trying to get like my workout in the morning, focusing on my business. Like you said, thank you so much for saying so many great things about Spicy Christians.
It's thrilling to see my friends thrive, really. And you're always so positive.
Thank you.
To connect with you now, even just, you know, on a virtual platform is amazing. Like, I know this is going to make my day better.
Yes. But, you know, this pandemic actually gave me more time to work on Spicy Christians. And that's the thing about it. You have to figure out, like, during this time, what your passions are, you know, and pursue it and be confident about it. And so, thank you, Jesus, I had already started Spicy Christians in October of last year. So when we, you know, had to be home and quarantined.
Yeah.
Which is for my collection, by the way.
Yeah.
When we
oh my God, that's so cute.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's quarantine. Yeah. And actually in the back, I don't know if you can see, but it says stay back 6 feet. But
okay.
I have short
I love it.
But yeah, I just have to be creative, and you know, there have been so many orders that have come in, so thank you for everyone that has shopped my collection. I just came up with different styles, so I use this time to like design and like, you know, craft like different phrases. Like, this is how I came up with this shirt. I pretty much was at the supermarket and felt like people were getting way too close, so I went out the next day with a sign on my back that said stay back 6 feet, and the next thing you know, I turned it into a shirt. So
it's really cool because we're taking your real life experiences and sort of lightly, because this is a very difficult subject for a lot of people, and I feel like it's a time of a lot of judgment, and some people are mad and some people are happy and some people are just going at each other. So that's like a fun, light way to give someone the message without like having an intense conversation over it, if that makes sense.
Agree.
You know? Mm-hmm. It's so funny because, Jazz, you know, you've been validated as my brand, and I wore my shirt, but on Instagram, when you have the camera front facing, our letters are backwards. So it says quarantine, but it's
yes.
You still look so good. Oh my God, I love that shirt.
Thank you. I know it's backwards, you know, like the mirror effect.
Even backwards,
I reverse it. I take the photo.
Yes.
Yeah.
You also do a lot with charity. You're extremely passionate about it. You have Polished Angels is your charity that you would go. Was it to the church nursing homes where you'd go and you'd do nails for people that are older, the elderly?
Nursing homes and shelters for women that
like to your love and your passion of philanthropy during this time, because I know it's challenging.
Yeah. So, real quickly, this person just asked Paris, how do you order my shirt?
Oh yeah,
thank you for asking.
Tell us, Jazz.
I don't want to forget to tell him. SpicyChristians.com. If you go into my page, go into the link on my bio. It's right there, and it's 20% off all merch. Code is Trust God.
I'm going to type it in the chat too.
I'm sure. Yeah, Val will put it, and we'll find a way to kind of like tag it here. But yeah, SpicyChristians.com. Now, to answer your question, me working for charities, yes, thank you so much for mentioning that. My charity is Polished Angels, and I love Polished Angels because, you know, that's where I get to go to nursing homes.
I spelled it right. Sorry, SpicyChristians.com.
Yeah, you did. Yep, that's
where you get the merch. Okay, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, so... Yeah, but I love, you know, working with the seniors, and this is something that has been a passion of mine for a very long time too, because I've always had a connection with older women, and, you know, growing up, I didn't have a relationship with my grandparents. They were, you know, in Honduras where my parents live. Are from. And so I never really was able to have that abuela, you know, relationship.
I think your mom, you're like twins. She's so freaking cute.
Yes, my mom and I were
your mom
close.
So young and fabulous. So.
Yeah, yeah. So that was really, so pretty much that was my attraction to seniors, and that's how it. And sorry, I forgot to put this on airplane.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Mode. But yes, but that was my attraction to going to nursing homes and working with seniors, was the fact that, I've never had that kind of relationship with my grandmother or my grandfather. And so I started in 2013, around the holidays. It was Christmas, and my church at the time, we always, was sing like Christmas carols to the seniors. And that year we were working on our Christmas cantata. So we were focusing on learning our lines and everything. And my pastor didn't want to overwhelm us with learning our lines and then learning lyrics to the songs. So she felt like we would just not do the Christmas caroling. And then I felt like, well, what if the seniors actually look forward to this, and they're going to miss out? So I thought about, what can I give to contribute to them for the holidays?
Let me see what you're working with now in the pandemic. Let me see. I know you got some
nails. Why not go there and paint their nails for the holidays? I'm sure they'll enjoy
it.
Because... Yes. Me and Val, we love our nails. Thank God thank goodness I was able to get my nails done, because they were looking real rough for a very long time. I was doing them myself, but it wasn't that great. But thank goodness for the reopenings and things opening little by little.
Oh my God, I love you so much.
To get your nails done, which is a whole nother conversation. But but yes, so I yeah, so I that's how it started. And then I posted on Instagram a picture, and people were like, oh my gosh, like, I want to do this. Like, how can I get involved? How can I volunteer? And I just started going to different locations, like, on a regular basis. And I love going to the shelter. I give back
so
to all, like,
that's what to know. Like, have you been able to stay connected in any way during the
right
pandemic?
Now, it's just so sad because we are...
Yeah, so I'm trying to find, like,
Right. So right now, I have not been able to, and it's really sad because I can't have an event, obviously, because of what we're going through with Corona and everything. So I do feel like a part of me is just kind of like missing out, on that service, and that I'm so used to giving. So it does kind of hurt a little bit, and because I know there have been so many people that have passed away in the nursing homes that I don't know, but I will almost think that a lot of people that I've worked with, have been a victim of it, I'm sure.
Well, I love that you've been able to be there for so many people, and I know you'll get back to it as soon as we can, so that's really a beautiful thing. I love it. So, okay, we've covered your new business, Spicy Christians, which literally those masks, I can't even tell you, I am obsessed. Like, so cute. We need to get them on so many people because... rock.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, because Mike Woods this morning on Good Day New York, he was saying, like,
we gotta get it over to Mike.
I try to switch it up. I have been wanting to order some new ones, and it's been hard to order them because there's and I'm like, hello, Mike Woods. Spicy Christians got you covered. Come get your face mask. I deliver like fast, quick delivery.
So how has the learning curve been for you, sort of delving into fashion? I know that you have a lot of different fashion lines and beauty products on your show. Hi, I see Millie's on. Hi, Millie. Yeah. Hi. Oh, absolutely. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining. How is the look? Oh, Essence Window is loving your glow. Yes, all day. Beautiful name. How has the learning curve been for you delving into fashion? Because I know you do work with a lot of products and brands on your show, being an Emmy-nominated producer on the Wendy Williams show. I've had the pleasure of working with you on many occasions, and I just have so much love for you. You are literally one of the best, most incredible producers. Everything is so seamless, and I just want to shout that out. Hi, the Make Is Me. I have to shout that out because you're just a joy to work with, and you bring everything.
Oh, thank you. I love working with you.
You elevate everything. You really elevate everything. So, how has this learning curve been for you delving into fashion from TV?
Oh, thank you.
The manufacturing purposes, the e-commerce side of it, there's a lot of balls in the air to juggle.
Yeah, it's actually been it It really is. And it just kind of like was something that I just started doing out of nowhere. It was not a plan. Like God literally blessed me with this opportunity to become an entrepreneur, and it was not a goal of mine, but here I am thriving. Thank you, Lord. But honestly, the whole fashion aspect of it, I really believe that in our lives, there are seeds that are planted, and so me, when I was in high school, I went to fashion industries high school. So I've always been into fashion. I always been into style. And, like you mentioned, working at the
live interactive
experience to be able to work in fashion shows and beauty, beauty segments. So I produce a lot of them. So and I have a lot of input too with the fashion shows. Like a lot of my experts, they'll pitch, ideas to me. And they're all really great. But then if I see something in the magazine that's like a new trend that they haven't covered, I'll be like, well, what about this trend? We should also have a model wearing this. You know what I mean? Exactly. Because that's the stuff that people remember. It's very important. You want to make sure that you know what you're talking about. And so when it comes to me having my fashion collection now, it's been
like, wow, do come together. And like, I know we all have hiccups in our days. And again, Yazmin, you are one of the people that like,
I was like,
we might not talk every single day, but like, I think of you, I root for you. And like, I feel, I channel your positive energy because you always have it. Just do. And that's it. We have to please and remember, guys, and everyone in the chat, you feel this, that the hiccups, the bumps are leading us to what, and we've had these conversations before, Jazz, right? So that the chips fall in place. We work hard to let the good happen, and it does, and it will.
Yes, we have. Yes. Right. Absolutely. And you just said it perfectly.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what it is. So I'm so happy, and it's super rewarding, being able to design, like I said, sketching,
and that's
how I
message, which I love. You
like,
always have a message that's strong and important.
And even
one of my friends just joined right now, who's actually an incredible fashion designer. Shout out to her, Shani. A lot of the dresses that I wear on television, and I've worn them at your show, Jazz, are from her. She's designed them. So look, another fashion entrepreneur. Yes, absolutely, 100%. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, go ahead, Shawnee.
They come from her. Oh, look.
Yeah, because you always
fellow
too, and
female fashionistas.
They're always different. So
that's amazing. So we just touched on that, and I love that you've just sort of been able to grow and had experience, but now are really able to put it into play. Oh, hi, Madeline Ruitt. I love it. Hi, the Big Fat Joey Show. Guys, ask questions. I've got an Emmy nominator on the line with a fashion line. Jazz, so now, hi, everybody.
Yes. Hello, guys. Thank you. Welcome.
And I wanted to also shout out to you that every time we have done something together and you had me as a guest on your show, you have been so incredible about helping fine-tune what we put together for the rundown so that everybody can enjoy and actually like utilize the information that we're giving them, even if it is lighthearted, style-esque. You've got tips all day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important, and I'm very detail oriented. And I want you, if you shine, then I shine, because when you're out there, I'm not out there, so you're a reflection of me. So what you do out there, and you're great at what you do. First of all, I'm always like impressed by the memorization of like talking points. Like that's just like wow to me. Like it's really impressive because there are a lot of talking points you have to deliver as an expert, especially when you're working with integrations, honey, because that is not easy. Okay, everything is super particular, and they'll tell you if you miss something.
I love you. When you have star producers, it makes it easier. But thank you. We all bring it, and I love all of just the group of people that we get to work with. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, half at the back wall, and somebody else just said hello to you, Jazz. I love it. I want to give them a shout out too. I love these integrated platforms. Jay Lazavio says blessings. Oh my God, this is great. Hold on. Oh,
hello. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for joining.
Me too. Wait, you're great. Yeah.
Isn't it? I love the live.
At first, it was funny because, who's going to be more real to us than our mothers, right? So when I started doing these lives and learning this platform, my mom was like, Val, you have to wait a second so that your guest can speak because everybody's joining because they want to hear from your guest. So I'm learning to hone and rein it in a little bit. I love it. I love it. so sweet. Okay, so Jazz, also on a more serious note, you are a beautiful, black, powerful woman. Black Lives Matter is happening. We are all talking about it no matter what our skin color is, no matter what our beliefs are, because change has to take place. So how are you feeling right now being in this world with all that's going on? I know that there's been some absolute terrible things, but that we're trying to make positive changes. Like where do you stand right now? Because this is something that we have to discuss. We can't not touch on it. Yeah, of course.
Of course, and I'm happy that you brought this up because right now I'm really proud of my people. I feel like, our voices are finally being amplified, and this is something that we've been dealing with for so long, so it's not anything new. And I love that Will Smith has that, meme that has been circulating around that the only thing that's new right now is that it's being filmed. This is something that, we've been oppressed for too long. And we have experienced microaggression and racism for too long. And we're tired. And everything has been
that was
happening all at once with George Floyd.
Say that because
and
that on the shoulders was just
my dad's
wow, really powerful and resonated.
It is true. When George Floyd... Yeah, when George Floyd died and everyone was able to see exactly how he died, his man was screaming for his life and said several times that he couldn't breathe and then yelled for his mother. You felt that pain. That was something you could not deny. And that was something that we just felt like we have to fight. We have to go harder. No justice, no peace, And I even went out there and I protested and I just felt it in my spirit to just go because, I have experienced racism in many ways, whether it's on vacation, whether it's at the workplace, whether it's in the street. And it's just unfortunate that this is things that we are constantly going through on a regular basis. We're always fighting, it may be easy, for you to just take your day lightly and go out and go about your business, where we have to, know that when we go to the store, if it's a store that's really luxurious, and there are people there have a lot of money, we're going to be watched. There are going to be people there that are going to be looking at us, feeling as though that we can't afford what's in that store because of our skin color. So we're tired of our skin color being treated like a threat, and it's just
from your perspective because
we feel like we're
you glow so hard. You're just so beautiful. I'm so proud to call you a friend. And yeah.
Thank you. But I'm happy. I'm really happy that now I've seen more change than I've ever seen in my life. I'm 35 years old, and I feel like we have been fighting for a very long time. But right now, the difference is, in some ways, we are being heard, and there are some changes, that are happening little by little. There's much more, justice for Breonna Taylor. We're still fighting for that, as well as Elijah and a whole bunch of countless others. And it's just a good thing that I feel like everyone has been persistent.
I saw Monday, the whole protest that passed by me, and they were in the rain.
They're still right.
And I was just wow, it's something, And what's nice is that people that were on the side of the streets, again, white, black, Spanish, Asian, they were clapping protesters. So whether or not they were walking, they were still making noise to say, listen, we're walking, but we still making it loud. In a way.
Yeah. I seen those people too on the sidelines. There were a couple of residents.
That's amazing. That's great. That I love to hear.
Cheering us on. There were people handing out water to us. Trying to keep us hydrated. Yeah, so it's like a team, a community, of people. We're all fighting together, whether you're in, the crowd or you're on the sidelines, we all have the same message. And it's just been really good that we can all join together, and fight. And I'm very happy to see it. Even the little girl, Winter Armor, the No Justice, No Peace with the green t-shirt. She went viral because it's this little girl, she has so much passion in her, and she even
and the fact that she may actually be able to live a life where things do change for the better is a beautiful thing, and it's happening right now. All the ugliness, hopefully, in your clothing lines, kind of rounded about. I think Spicy Christians is really positive, right? And they want to, and you want to bring light to something that's dark, essentially.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Which is why I'm happy I have this opportunity to have my collection and put things, put phrases on it that are very uplifting. Like God over everything is one that I did, at the startup of the lockdown, because I wanted people to know, like, despite our circumstances and what we're going through right now, God over everything. God has the final say, and our situation may seem like there's no way out, but we can't believe that. We have to trust and know that there is a way out, and if we continue to be optimistic as much as possible, and we're deep in prayer, we'll figure out a way to kind of change our perspective on things and shifts, and focus on the good, because there are some good things that are happening, so I'm very happy for the fact that I'm fortunate enough to have food in my refrigerator. There are a lot of people that are struggling and they can't even have that, so there's always ways around it, when you're stuck in a place where you're just focusing on the negative. And that's just how I live my life every day. I have my moments too where I'm upset, but overall, if you're
right
around
now,
people
I'm like almost emotional because I'm just enjoying our conversation. I don't even want to end the live. I missed you so much. You really do just have such a positive aura. And obviously, like, we're allowed to have our moments. Like, I have them too, trust me. But I try to bring happiness to myself and to others as much as I can. And I just appreciate you. I mean, were you born this way? Or were you born this way? Or, some you light up a room. You have what about you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. No, actually, you know what? Me being a very positive person was not like the case all the time. I would say in high school, I was very negative in high school. Like I just kind of, like I always had light in me, but I was like very insecure at that time that I wasn't really like, confident in myself to reach my full potential. And so that affected my self-esteem. And that
look in the mirror. Look in the mirror now, honey, because you are reaching
my outlook
more
light,
than ever. I can't even reach high enough because you got.
Yeah, but now, but then I decided I didn't want to. Yes. I didn't want to live my life like that, so when I finally went into college, it was just like, what, it really is how I feel about myself. That is what's going to exude on the outside, and I have to be able to feel good, and I have to be able to have a different perspective on things, even down to like the way you treat people. Like, that's so important, being kind and like spreading kindness in many ways, like the